Welcome to the Actualize Your Full Potential podcast, hosted by yours truly, Bruce Barnes. Join me as we discover small changes that make a big impact in your life.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Actualize Your Full Potential podcast. I'm excited to be with you here today, and that's I got a special guest with me today, Denise Cambiotti. It's up in the Vancouver, BC area, and we're going to have a really great set of tips for you today, and we're just going to jump right into it. This is just a little intro about Denise here. So she is endlessly fascinated about wellness, the body, and the mind. She's president of Muscle Tuners International Incorporated and has over 2,600 hours of training and 20 years of clinical experience helping people instantly strengthen muscles, improve function, and reduce pain. Of course, everybody needs that to some extent. And she teaches key concepts so that healers and individuals alike can utilize bioenergetic wellness methods to greatly complement their lives and their health practices. So this is perfect because we all need a little bit of help.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
So how are you doing today?
I am happy, and I'd like to add another word, and I just don't know what else to add. I'm very happy today. It's been an awesome day, and I'm also so pleased to be here with you on your show and to speak to your audience, because I totally am in sync with the theme of your podcast about how small changes can make a big difference in your life, a big impact in your life.
Yeah.
I'm not into making things difficult, hard, or challenging, or that they need to be done all the time. I'm totally about having a little technique in your back pocket that you can pull out when you need it. And when we spoke, I mentioned I have a crowd pleaser that never fails to give me lots of feedback when I present it to live or virtual audiences. I get emails about, I cannot believe how simple it is and what it has done. So may I share something called, we affectionately call it the neck tension release activity.
Absolutely, yes.
Great. But before I actually get people to do it, I'm going to mention, I always start all my training programs by having people switch on their ears so that they can listen and understand the material I'm going to teach. And this technique was originally taught to me to help people get messages from the ears to the parts of the brain that will remember what you heard. So in this day and age, you've got so much information coming at you, you're not really focusing on anything too well. So anything that gives you an edge to what you hear is going to be helpful. A nice side effect was that people would go, wow, doing that activity was worth the price of admission for the whole workshop. And I'm teaching $350 workshops here. And they're going, that was worth the whole price of admission. And I truly seen that and heard it so many times. And yet this is a technique I love to give away for free. So the benefits is it will release the tension in your neck and your upper shoulders. And let's just get right to it.
Okay.
I need to talk a little bit through the technique because it helps your nervous system if you can hear something. So I'm going to natter on some more. But before we begin, at Muscle Tuners International, we always like everybody to take a measurement before we start. So before we do this magic activity, really tune in to, how does your neck feel if you turn your head one way? Does it feel like it's tugging or tight? And turn slowly the other way. And can you turn equally to both sides or not? And I'm watching you turn your head around, and you have a different strategy for turning your head. You actually do something funny when you turn one way compared to the other. And you seem to turn a little bit more to the right. Are you noticing that, Bruce?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you feeling any tension in your neck?
Oh yeah, there's a little on both sides, just right down the
that spot where I'm telling you, we're going to, this is going to work for you then. Now, a lot of people like to take a measurement where 0 is no pain, 10 is the top pain. So if you kind of go, it's a little bit, maybe give a number to it, like
it's not really painful, but it's just feels tight in there.
okay,
So the
discomfort
tightness is
level.
probably like a 3.
Okay, so a discomfort, no pain, but discomfort's about a 3 out of 10. So if your whole audience wanted to do that right now, and now we're going to go in and do the technique. And it's crazy, it's weird, it's unconventional, I know.
I love
But
that. I love that kind of stuff.
I show it to everybody because it works. So you have about 365 acupressure points in your ear. And so what we're going to do is we're going to activate whole piles of those acupressure points, because everybody knows acupuncture helps with pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to combine this with you turning your neck. And the receptors in your neck are always reporting to your body about, hey, you're turning your head, or you're lurching, you're about to fall, or, you know, whatever the nervous system is hearing, it will tighten some muscles and relax other muscles. So what if those receptors aren't reporting to your brain properly?
Right.
So this is what's going to happen. We're going to turn our head as far as we can go. So I'm going to turn right. And the trick is, if you're going to turn your head right, you're going to activate the reflexes on your right ear. And I'll show the audience what I'm going to do, but with my other ear.
Okay.
You see this curled over part at the top of your ear? You want to put your thumb in there and kind of pinch it and unroll it. And you want to pull it away from your head. So along with the pinching and rolling, you also want to give a little tug. So you're going to do that, okay?
So you kind
all
of,
the way down to your
okay, you
earlobe.
work your way down the ear. Okay.
All the way down. So now let's do it all together. Turn your head, say to the right, and we're going to go to the right ear, and you're going to tug and unroll the curled over part at the top of your ear. You're going to move your thumb along slowly. So every time you do an unroll and a tug, you move and move and move. And about now, you're getting near your earlobe, and you can pull and tug on your earlobe. Remember, the trick is turn your head as far as you can to the right while you do it.
Okay.
That way, when you're activating the acupressure points, the reflexes in your neck are also going, oh, look at that. Let's switch on those reflexes. Make sure you're breathing. You're listening to the sound of my voice. And later, when you do this by yourself, please tune into the sound of a clock, a radio in the other room, the sound of the traffic outside, because that's what activates your brain to send the impulses that you're hearing.
So now, do you want to do that more than one time going down the ear? Or?
Yeah, you want to repeat. Yeah.
Okay, I just did it one time. Okay.
Okay, yeah, repeat it about 4 or 5 times. So go for it and do it
Okay.
at least a couple more times there, Bruce. And you might be noticing that your ear is feeling hot.
Yeah.
And it'll look pink. I think mine's probably pink. Good. And make your head turn. Yep, that's right. As far as you can do it there comfortably without causing you any pain or aggravation. And that should be loads. Now you're going to look straight forward.
Okay.
Okay. We don't like to suddenly lurch our head to the other side. Now you're going to turn your head to the left or the other direction. And you're going to activate these reflexes again, all along the top of the ear, all the way to the bottom, about 4 or 5 times each.
Okay.
So everybody turn your head as far as comfortable and pull and tug and roll that ear and go all the way from the top, all the way down to the earlobe and go back up. And it doesn't matter if you go bottom to top, top to bottom. You just really want to be pulling on your ears. In our program, I have a picture of a cute little boy. Looks like he's just jumped out of the pool. His hair is all wet. And he's pulling on both ears. It's just the sweetest thing. He's yanking his ears out as far as he can go. And breathe. And that's literally it. We literally take 20 seconds, maybe a half a minute on either side. Thanks for coming back to center.
Yeah.
And now let's take that measurement again of turning your head and noticing, can you go any further or any easier?
Yeah.
Right? And how does it feel?
Amazing.
Tension down in here? Often that releases.
Yeah.
So
That's
people,
amazing.
they'll find it happens like that fast. And if there's still any tension left, I just invite you to go do it again. And now, hey, your head is turned a little further. You activate the points again. You're getting at activating those reflexes from another perspective.
Yeah,
And
that's
usually
great.
one pass is good enough, sometimes two. And that really takes a whole bunch of tension out of there. And now when you turn your head and you're walking down the road or you're driving, whole piles of other muscles in your body aren't tensing, expecting you to fall. When they're, unless you want things to happen to be prepared, but not if they're not happening, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that really also helps. It can help also with tension up and down the spine. So if you also focus on turning your spine, I know some people are doing that. Some people are even doing that. They activate, they go, hey, this shoulder works really great. This one's a little cranky.
Yeah.
They'll turn their head and they'll do that. And it seems to help the shoulders as well.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
these
it's all
muscles tie
connected.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
connected.
I know I got someone else that recommended this is just like the exaggerated shrug to release the tension and whatnot, as well as just kind of gently stretching each side and that too, which I found has really helped. But I've never heard that with the ears. My ears are hot now.
Yes, good. Then it took effect. It's working when those ears are burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really great activities you can do that, we get so used to being up that we have to learn to
rolling the shoulder forward or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we really get locked into our common postures and we don't even think about it anymore. And I do see people showing up on Zoom and there's sometimes like, this is really exaggerated.
Well, it's like what I forget how they refer to it as, is when you're on the they're like the neck.
It's called
they have some
text
name
neck.
for it now, with your neck is hunched
Yeah,
over.
it's text neck because people have their phones are down
text
here.
neck. That's it. Yeah.
And when it gets so painful, people finally learn to hold their phone up here and do that.
Yeah.
That's much better ergonomics.
Then it bothers their arms.
We got a trick for that, but not today. Okay, so that was the little tiny activity. Do that once a day if you tend to get a lot of tension. And if you know any learners, literally, people are absorbing information online, they should switch on their ears before they go listen to any kind of a lecture. So students of all ages, or like literally right now, how much information is there available online? People are listening to podcasts like yours. They should be turning on their ears so that they can hear and remember the information they're listening to.
So this, not only as you're turned, it's not only releasing this, but it's also activating
all the neurology in the
everything
brain stem going into the auditory centers of the brain. It's a twofer.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Would you like to discover another one that I'm really keen? I am so keen about sharing this one because it seems so impossibly simple, and yet it is profoundly, profoundly important. You know anybody in North America or elsewhere in the world that's a little tiny bit stressed these days?
Nah.
Not a single one.
Massively stressed, yes.
Massively, yeah. So I teach this to a lot of my clients and I say, if you want less stress in your life, teach this to those people in your life that are stressing you out. Teach it to your kids, teach it to your spouse, teach it to your coworkers, teach it to your boss, so that they can process their stress levels and be kinder, gentler, more centered, grounded individuals from doing literally 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It dumps a pile of stress out of your system. So I am a mother of twins. And one day they tag team me. Some days your kid just annoys you and you can manage, and then they switch. And with twins, it's really interesting. They would always take turns. And once in a while, they would both come at me. And I don't even know what it was on this day, but I was ready to blow a fuse. In fact, I did pop a gasket. Their eyes went like that, and they left the room.
Slowly back away.
Quickly. I literally was ready, like the old saying, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. I was ready. Literally, adrenaline in my body was like, I was vibrating. I could feel adrenaline running around in my system. And I've studied physiology, and I know it's supposed to take about 3 hours for your liver and your systems to degrade all that stress hormone and get rid of it.
How long?
3 hours.
3 hours. I didn't realize that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, once you get and who gets triggered once every 3 or so hours? I mean,
Yeah.
we're triggered and triggered and triggered and triggered.
Yeah.
So we're all living like this these days. We've
Yeah.
just gotten used to it.
So that's what people don't realize, is the stress is affecting multiple organs in your body.
Yes, sir.
And it's not just tension in the neck. It's,
No, it used to, when I grew up, my mother said, never sit down at the dinner table when you're upset because you won't digest well.
Yeah.
My sister caught me in my teenage years going, sit down to eat. And I'm going, why? I'm like on the fly. It's really easy to eat toast. I don't have to sit down at the table. And she's going, you don't digest well if you're not sitting down. And it turns out, as I studied, yeah, your whole sympathetic system, it's fight, flight. I mean, if you're eating on the go, your body thinks you're in fight, flight mode. So there's so many ways that we are triggering not only our stomachs, our intestines, the pancreas, the liver. They are stressed if we are stressed. It's not just all in your head. So can I show you some pressure release valves?
Absolutely.
That I used to let that circulating energy literally out of my system in about 30 seconds.
Sure, you bet.
Okay. There are 2 secret ingredients to the tech. Well, there's 3. One is knowing where the points are. So they're on your forehead, right above the colored part of your eye, halfway between your eyebrow and your hairline.
Okay.
Or your natural hairline where it used to be.
Yeah.
Imagine where it used to be.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you slide your fingers up your forehead, you feel a bit of a boom. Okay. And come a little bit out so you're above the colored part of your eye. So you're in the right spot. So you can do that with 2 hands, 2 fingers like that, or you can just simply put your whole palm of your hand across your forehead.
So does it matter if you're...
It doesn't.
No, okay.
Right, left, whatever, it doesn't matter. So put your arm down for a second.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen people go, oh my goodness? It's a natural activity, right? Well, it turns out the trick is if you hold your forehead or these points specifically very lightly, they're pressure release valves. So you press hard, the pressure can't come out. So the trick is to hold them lightly. So find the point.
Is steam going to come out of my ears? Or no?
It might.
No.
So you're going to be holding the points. You're going to be holding them lightly. And you're going to do your best to just think about whatever is stressing you in that moment or the issue that you want to talk about. So I'll talk about that in a second. So as you're thinking about it, some people see things in their mind's eye. Some people get feelings in their body. Some people really remember what they heard, what was said. Other people have thoughts. Other people remember scents, like the odors that were in the room. All these things combine and get packed into your nervous system as a chunk of information. So I'm going to invite you right now and your audience to consider something you would like to feel less stress about. I taught this to a business coach once and she couldn't believe it. She says she went around her house like this for a few minutes and then she was just screaming, I can't believe it. I don't feel stressed about this anymore. Where did the stress go? So she was literally shouting at the top of her voice. So this is it. Pick something that you would like to have less stress about. Please don't choose something where it was a traumatic event. This is not appropriate for a traumatic event, but think of something, an upcoming conversation you have to have, a conversation you had that didn't go well, whatever it is, or, an activity or performance you want to do. I've known people do this before going to the dentist's office because they flip right out. Yeah. And they realized as they were at the reception desk paying for the session or for the service, they're going, oh my God, I've been in and I'm out and I didn't even think about being stressed once. Yeah. So this is how brilliant it is. You can apply it to anything. I've known people who were infected with AIDS, who had no thought of a future for themselves. Think about it and could then visualize themselves walking into the sunset, basically holding their child's hand. whatever it takes to get the stress out. I mean, I have seen people prepare for piano recitals where you get certificates awarded, you know, with hundreds of people in the room and everybody plays their piece and everybody gets awarded a certificate, and go from bronze to gold. I could just go on and on about the way that I like to do this to program my day, and I do that in the morning. Sometimes if I've had a rough day, I'll go before I go to bed. I let the stress go so I have a good night's sleep. So with all that, here's the technique. Think of the challenge that you want to have less stress about and hold your forehead.
So now you want to make sure whether you're with one hand or with both, you want this area on over both eyes to be.
Yes. So you're the perfect poster boy. You're holding your two fingertips like that. I will hold my palm to give people the alternative. Are you holding lightly?
Yeah.
You're breathing?
Yep.
Good. Now just relax. And I'll just talk you through a few things just to help coach you through so you're doing the process. So as you're sitting or standing, whatever you're doing, holding your forehead, just consider that event that has been stressing you. And recall or imagine whatever you see about this event. And maybe you're hearing something, or maybe you're having feelings. So just check in with yourself about what you see, what you hear, what you feel, where you feel it, and any thoughts you're having about it. And just allow your whole body to relax, and all your muscles and tendons and ligaments are just totally being at the right tone to support you. And just keep thinking about that event. And you don't know how it could be better, but you might imagine how you would like it to end. If so, imagine you're a movie director and just imagine a different ending, a more positive ending, a more happier outcome. And as soon as you take a deep breath, or you can't really focus on that event, that stress anymore, it's harder to find, you could just take another deep breath and then let go of your forehead. But if you want, hold it as long as you wish. And normally these thoughts take around 30 seconds to 2 minutes to be fully processed and the pressure to come out of your system. So there you go. Thanks for playing along. I've done this for people who run women's shelters and the whole staff is stressed out, and they come out and they're going, I go, how you feel? And they're going, a little weird. Like I feel okay. I feel like
relaxed.
normal.
I could take a nap right now.
So I don't know, depending on what your situation was, because I'm doing this very generalized for your whole population to just pick whatever, think of whatever. But now imagine it again. Can you find the same level of stress that you thought about when we started?
No.
Something has changed.
Yeah.
So imagine if you did that every day on one stress a day.
Yeah.
Or you thought about a goal you want to achieve. And you're thinking, oh, I've got to do this. And there's a deadline for that. And I got to apply for this. And I got to collect this together. And then I have to phone somebody. So what if you just took every one of those steps that get you towards a goal and say, oh, I got to make that phone call. Oh, I got to get the paperwork together. Oh, I have a deadline that I have to do a report for. Oh, there's this other thing. What if you spent 30 seconds to 2 minutes considering every step? Wouldn't your goals be easier to reach?
Yeah, you got that hand planned on your forehead. Just keep it there longer in a different spot. And
not a different spot. Just Yeah.
I mean, get it positioned correctly in that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
You know, it's too heavy if your head is falling back and you're fighting to hold your head straight. That's way too heavy.
Usually it's like, oh my God.
But I cannot tell you, this is a very small activity you can do that has a huge impact in your life.
Yeah.
Right? The nephew I coached for that piano recital thing, he got a gold. He never, in all the years he's ever been, never gotten better than bronze. I had him visualize playing the piece of music, just hold his forehead and just visualize. He didn't have to play just imagine it. And he said he never felt so good giving that performance. And he had never played it ever. He had practiced for 9 or 10 months. He had practiced that piece of music every day for hours.
Wow.
And he had never played it without a mistake before. And he did it that day.
That's
and
awesome.
It was just one of those pieces where you could get into the music. It wasn't just bang, bang, bang on the keys, right? Just get the job done. It really, he said he had never played better than that.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah,
So,
that's perfect, because one of the things that I addressed in a previous episode of my podcast is automatic negative thoughts, or ants is what I call it. So you got these ants, automatic negative thoughts that always come in and says, oh, you can't do that, or says, oh, you've never succeeded with this before. So whenever, or says, oh, I'm just going to really do horrible on this presentation or whatever. Says, this is perfect way of addressing these ants.
right. So you go, oh, I'm going to do horrible on this presentation, or this. How many university students have I put through this? I'm going to do horrible. I'm not going to be able to remember everything. I always study and I can never remember anything. And you think all the ants, all the negative stuff, you just load it on, hold lightly. Just keep thinking about, oh, and I never get better than C, but I work and I think I deserve an A, whatever it is. Yeah. Just go through that.
So it's not only reflecting on what you're negative, what you're stressing about, but also the positive outcome that you want to happen, right?
The positive outcome is the bonus. If you want, that adds a little bit extra fuel. But just going here and going, oh, there's that person again.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they're going to keep me hanging here for, talking about, right? Even if you just think about the negative and then take your hand down, the situations, the conversations. I've done that at least once. And the joke that comes out, I'm not a very good joke teller, but something just pops out of my mouth and I go, ooh, where did that come from? Yeah. And they laugh, changes the complexion of the conversation. Yeah. We smile, we say bye-bye, see you next week, whatever it is. And you go, whoa, that was a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
And I didn't program anything for success, like, oh, we're going to laugh and shake hands and be good friends forever. Didn't go to the positive side. Even if you could just think of the negative, just get the negative out, and then your body will want to do something more pleasant.
Well, that's true.
How you're wired. Your body is wired to move towards something that's more pleasant, more rewarding, than repeating something that's painful.
Yeah, that's the two motivations in life, is move away from pain or move towards something better. And so that's great. I mean, that's easy to do, and I'm a firm believer in intention. So while you're doing that, releasing the stress, I mean, putting that positive intention with it, that's definitely
the positive intention with it. I do muscle testing for like biofeedback. I have worked with people from national insurance companies where I was at this event, and he comes in and going, okay, let's do, oh, you're stressed out. So I showed him when he's thinking about his meetings that he has to go to with his group, how his muscles unlocked. They were like limp spaghetti. He couldn't hold his arm up to save his life. And he's going, what the heck? 1 minute your arm is like really locked, and then you think about going to your meeting and he couldn't hold it in the air. So I held his forehead for him. He was on a massage table and I was sitting at the head. So if you're a therapist, go ahead and use this. hold somebody's forehead very lightly, or stand behind the chair and hold it. Just make sure you're not pushing hard, or their neck muscles are going to be crying. I just said, imagine going back to work and imagine having your meeting and looking around. You're sitting in your seat, you're looking at the whole group, and you're hearing what the group is saying. And you've got things you want to share with them. You need things from them. You don't know, how are you going to get this concept through to them so that they'll go, oh, gee, great, and work as a team. And, think about all those things. I shut up for a minute. Just imagine being back at work. I shut up. I'm going, and if there's anything else you need to see, anything more you need to hear, anything more you have to feel or think about that situation. And he went like that. And I went, great, you're done. And then I tested him, says, exact same thing. Think about going back to work and being with your team. Check it on the other side. And he just about jumped off the massage table and said, what the heck is this? He says, this should be everywhere, man, because stress contributes to so much illness.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I share it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And for everybody that's watching or listening here, this is in the description of the video and the podcast, there's going to be links to, you gave me a little website to go to for the tips on what we just walked through. And
yes. Go
so
to the tips and watch them. Some people like to learn by reading, so everything's written out for you. I think there's also, once you get to the bottom of that, there's a link to more information. We have little monthly release, recharge, realign webinars that are free. These 2 techniques I include, 3 more that are really awesomely great. So I invite people to come and get more. If this works for you, and I believe it will, just test it. Come for more. I'm happy to share. And if you are an individual that needs more help and coaching and managing in your life, we deal with that. We also love to help therapists, energy workers, body workers of all stripes and kinds incorporate energy tuning and muscle tuning into their businesses so that their clients turn into little referral machines. So I don't know what that person's doing, but they're doing something different and it works.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you for sharing. And I love, like I said, I love these quick little things you can do that, has a big impact on the body. And it's like, wow, this is awesome. So, and I know you also mentioned you've got that little, like a little mini workshop retreat coming up next month on August 7th.
That's right. It is Saturday, August the 7th. It's at 10 o'clock Pacific time here in the Vancouver area. Online, it will be at least an hour. I hope that you could stay for 75 minutes in total. It's usually about an hour and 15, because depending on how many people are there, how many questions are asked, how much extra juice you can get out of me, I tend to overshare a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can register for that. And if you can't attend, there is going to be a replay link from a previous event.
So is there, what kind of cost is?
This one's free.
Oh, wow. Great.
Right. So I think you have the link. You can post along with this episode.
I'll put that in the description text as well. And this is great stuff. Thank you so much again for sharing, and encourage you to definitely check out everything that she's got to offer. That says Denise is really, she knows her stuff.
Thank you. My mission really is to help as many people as possible live with less pain and actualize their potential. And so that's why I give a lot of freebie stuff. Try before you buy. If you like it, there's more.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll go ahead and wrap up. And one of the things I encourage everybody, obviously, to sign up and get the little alerts on the YouTube channel as well as the podcast, and follow me there, and check out the website, actualizeyourfullpotential.com. And one of the things, I'd like to offer is, a free discovery call, and that just to see, what's going on and how I might be able to help you. I got a variety of different resources, from wellness products to just coaching, mindset tools. And I've got a really amazing well-being scanner. Basically, it scans your body at the quantum level and comes up with some just amazing results. They're showing 85 to 100% identical to your blood work, CAT scan images. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, and that information is on my Third Rock Wellness website. But you can jump right to it by going to ultimatebodyscan.com. And I just did my another scan on myself yesterday, and in my left arm, just kind of right in front of the elbow and above it, this is I've been having a little bit of discomfort, like I'll go to pull a handle like I'm a refrigerator or something like that, and I'll just kind of well, the scan showed it's, I think, what was it, the oblique cord has an issue right where I'm having the issue, and it's like, how the heck does it know? So I mean, it's really cool stuff. So anyway, with that, I'll let you go, and thank you again for joining me today and for your awesome tips. And check out the website and again, it's muscletunersinternational.com is her website. So
yeah, if that's too many letters to put in your phone, it's also muscle tuners with an s.fit, FIT.
Okay, great.
And be
Okay,
strong,
thanks.
be confident, be tuned, everybody.
All right, see you guys next time.